Evening YouTube. So I have a double video this evening that I wanted to look at. I wanted to come back to my KBOX 200, and I wanted to have a look at my favourite, bar none so far, my favourite RTA, which is the Griffin by Vape. I have fallen in love with this tank. It is the best tank I have used so far, bar none. Full stop. It's fantastic. I can use any juice with it. It can hold any builds that I want to put onto it. I can vape it at whatever temperature or whatever wattage that I want to. Just fantastic. Let's have a bit of a chat about it and give you my thoughts. So first off, I suppose it's worth having a bit more of a chat about the KBOX 200. So I am absolutely loving this still. It's still, as I said in my first video, the perfect sort of day-to-day mod. It's not a single 18650, obviously, it's a dual 18650, excuse me, so you get the double battery life and you get to be able to run it at higher wattages for longer. It fits in the hand beautifully and in the pocket, unlike things like the Relo, which is my other sort of go-to mod, but it's obviously much more pocket friendly, day-to-day friendly. And yeah, it's working an absolute treat. I've got a couple of LG HU4s in there, and they're working brilliantly. But yeah, so let's have a bit of a chat about the Griffin tank. Actually, sorry, before I do that, the one thing which I am finding annoying about this is it doesn't read new coils very easily. Now, I mentioned this in the first video. I sort of said that I thought it was a bit of a glitch. It is a glitch. What you need to do is you need to press fire briefly for a second whilst the device or the atomizer or tank is on there, unscrew it quickly and then re-screw it on, and then it will ask you whether or not it's a new coil or not. That is probably the one downside with this. It's frustrating, but you know, it's worth it for the convenience, I think, personally. So yeah, so this is reading at a 0.21 at the moment, which is correct. Look at that vapor. Cool. So let's go down, have a look at the tank, and see what is what. It's going to be a bit messy, I think, because there's some juice in here, but let's have a peek. Right. Okay. So here is the tank. In fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to unscrew it for a second, let it drain whilst we have a look at the packaging. So this is the packaging. Sorry about that. This is the packaging that the Griffin comes in. There's millions of videos about this already, but sod it. Comes in a sleeve. This came from Fast Tech. Get a nice plastic packaging. You get a Allen key for the Velocity style deck in there. Loads and loads of multicoloured O-rings and some extra grub screws. And you also get some spare glass, which is great, because if you, like me, break your glass from time to time, you don't have to worry about ordering new glass. There we go. That's that. My only con with this, I think, probably is the airflow control is a little bit loose, but that's only a small thing. I use it open, wide open, and to be honest, that doesn't really matter, does it, if it's open wide? But yeah, so it comes apart very easily. Pop off the top, pop off the chimney. It's padded O-ring at the top, padded O-ring at the bottom, and then it has an additional chimney piece which you can then, you should be able to screw off, but I'm not going to be able to because it's all covered in juice. Oh dear. So this has a dual Clapton coil in there, which is cracking. Love the fact that you can fit stuff which is so big into this deck. It is probably one of the most dripper-like experiences that I've had, and I know that gets used a lot, that term, but it genuinely is. I really can't get that off at the moment. That is, there we go. So this has been obviously wicked and used for a couple of days. There it is, dual Claptons in there, looking a little bit messy now, but absolutely fine. I have had 0 dry hits with this. It does leak if you are not careful with it. Now there have been videos about this saying that it doesn't leak. It does, but that's only if you're an idiot like me and you fill it up without closing your juice flow holes. Basically, what you need to do when you're wicking it, these little gaps here, you don't want to push it all the way down into them. You want to just tuck the cotton on top, and then you've got your velocity style decks, you've got your grub screws in there, which are fantastic for making a connection. And I've got a 5 wrap Clapton coil on top of that. So you can take this piece off as well, but there's not much point. Then you have your chimney section, which slots back over there like so, screws back down, and then that's how you would then close off your airflow, your juice flow, sorry. Let's give it another wipe, and then we place our glass on top, that back on top of there, screw it all down, and there she blows. So then you can then undo the juice flow holes like so. Sorry, this is getting really messy, isn't it? I thought this would be a cleaner video, but clearly I haven't factored into the fact that there'd be loads and loads of juice still left in it. Let me throw some juice in there. What am I going to use? Let's use pineapple peach. So nice big sort of kidney shaped holes in the top. There's more access than not. Now that is where I mess up. So I nearly filled this up without closing off the juice flow holes. Juice flow holes closed now. This holds 3.5 mils of juice. It does drink juice quite well, but it's to be expected with that amount of wick in there and the juice flow that is in the actual atomizer. This is some homemade juice, by the way. It's a 65-35 PG/VG mix. Screw that top on. It has a lovely chuff cap on the top, or not chuff cap, wide bore drip tip. It comes with an adapter so that you can put your own drip tip in, but I really like this drip tip. It also has a really deep catch cup in there as well. And then all you do, if you can see this, open up your juice flow, and it will start wicking. No leaking, no nothing, all well. But yeah, there we go. So let's plonk it back on something. There we go. Let's put it back on the old KBOX. You also have to be careful when you're tightening it down, because when you tighten it down, you will turn your juice flow holes to closed if you're not careful. So be aware of that. Yeah, you see, it didn't ask me for another coil, which is annoying. But yeah, there we go. So there is the fabulous, absolutely fabulous Griffin RTA on the KBOX 200. Let's come back up and I will vape it for you. There we go. So yeah, so hopefully you can see. Maybe you can't see. It is wicking. It's wicking nicely. A couple of priming puffs. This is a 0.21 coil, and I'm running this at a modest 45 watts, and it is keeping up absolutely fantastically. As I said, no dry hits at all, just beautiful dense vapor all the way. Also, what I love about this, excuse me, is I don't get any juice in my mouth. No spit back. There's a crackle, good crackle on there, but there's no spit back at all. But yeah, it's a fabulous vape. I think they've really done an excellent tank. 3.5 mils of juice, nice big RTA buildable deck, fitting in Claptons in there, or you could put a nice stainless steel build for some temp control, or a nickel build. You could put some crazy builds in there if you wanted. Not that I really do sort of, you know, alien staple coil builds or anything like that, but you could put some fantastic massive builds in here. Great thing is the airflow comes in, goes up, hits the wicking coils, and there's the direct juice flow, the direct airflow up to the coils, and brings it up right into your mouth. And I love a nice wide bore drip tip. I think that's fantastic. I think just to give that as an option is fantastic. So cool. Thank you very much indeed for watching. This has been the Griffin. Thank you.